made it.
Yeah. We made it last night, not just now.
And I'm honestly amazed at how giant these spaces are.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this trip. So we're staying at Kelly Park, which is a county park up here. We normally come up to this area and stay at Wekiwa State Park, which is literally around the corner.
But since this one opened after COVID, we're like, let's go and check it out.
And we wanted to try something different, and these sites are absolutely huge. So we got in last night. Right when we got in, it started raining, and it was starting to get a little dark because of the rain. And so we just kind of relaxed. We went and did our live stream last night just to talk about Daddy Daycare.
Yes, what a great movie.
And now, funny thing is, we're going to head over to Wekiwa State Park to go swimming because John Paul and Michelle are meeting us. They have their dog with them, and unfortunately, dogs are not allowed in this park, but they are allowed in the state park.
She wants to splash around, too.
So, hey, we love Wekiwa State Park. We've already camped there twice. They have, like, lots of bike trails, so we're going to take our bikes. We can go hiking. We've got our paddle board, so everything's in the back of the trucks. And no matter what we want to do, we can have a good time.
Let's go have an adventure. It has been raining for 3 straight days, but there is a break in the weather, and I think we're actually gonna get to go tubing. It looks like this is almost all to ourselves.
Still early.
Yeah.
It's like 8:30 in the morning.
It looks good. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two crazy campers.
After losing a combined weight of more than 200 pounds.
We realized we had so much more energy for activities.
Come along with us as we explore the great outdoors.
And join us on a brand new adventure.
Well, this is an adventure for me. We are staying at Kelly Park, or it's Rock Springs at Kelly Park, right? Mm-hmm. Camping for 3 days. Now, we've had a bunch of rain.
It's been so rainy.
And we're going to now go out on the springs, and then after that, we're gonna go over the entire campground and let you guys know whether you should come camping at Kelly Park in Apopka, Florida. Okay, we were coming to a spring. Nobody told me I had to walk up like ladders and ramps and everything to get where we're going.
It's just like when you go on any water ride, you usually have the first part of preparation, like getting to the beginning of the slide. That's the hardest part. I don't know if I want to meet this guy riding in nothing but an inner tube, but I feel pretty good that there won't be a lot of alligator traffic since there's so much people traffic here.
Heading out on our own with our hope in the clouds, and we're starting to see that we're onto something. Feel it coming, we'll keep running, nothing in our way, and we got no reason to wait. Let the journey take you where it wants to. We'll continue to find our way through anything we face. We got what it takes. Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful. Here we go, with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day, it's ours to take, and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins. Every step, writing stories that seek to be read, taking hold of the moment as we discover every color filled with wonder. Now we finally see we got everything we need. Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful. Here we go, with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day, it's ours to take, and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins.
Don't you wish that we lived closer? We would be in this thing every day.
I'm already thinking, like, let's cancel the next camping trip and come back here.
Right? Because this little hidden gem in the park is worth the price of admission. Okay, so we have been here for 3 nights and it is time for our official campground review.
Now, if you're new to our channel, we review all campgrounds based on 5 things. We're gonna talk about hospitality, the amenities, campsites themselves, stuff to do, and finally, would we recommend coming camping at this park? So let's start off with number 1, which is hospitality. Now, we have been to a lot of state, local, and county parks, and I have to tell you, the hospitality here was amazing. I think better than almost any other park we've been to. And it started off even before we got here.
Yeah, we actually got a phone call from them asking about when we would be there, because it was about, 4 o'clock or so, and we were still on the road, coming here. So they were just trying to see how late were they going to have to stay to receive us.
I thought it was really nice because from what I understood, the park closed at 8 p.m. And so I thought I had till 8 o'clock to get here, and we were coming up on a Sunday afternoon, and it turns out that their office closes at 6 o'clock, and I had tried to call on the road and I couldn't get a hold of them. And she said to me, oh yeah, whenever somebody seems to be running late, if they're not checked in by about 4 o'clock, we start calling just to make sure, because we leave here at 6 o'clock and we want to make sure you're going to be all able to get in and everything else. So I really thought that was awesome. Also, all of the other rangers here are super nice. The campground hosts are very quiet, and overall this is a very quiet campground.
This is a very quiet campground because there are lots of kids and families here enjoying the springs, and why not? I mean, the tubing on the lazy river is awesome, but it's very quiet.
Yeah. Well, let's get into number 2, which is the amenities. And this is another campground that, okay, you're thinking state campground, this is a county park, like it's going to be really nice. And for the most part, this one is nice, but there are some things that may concern some people, and we're going to start off with the roads.
Yes, it is all dirt roads, and it's a little bit scary driving your rig up and down because you are like jostling all the way to your campground.
Yeah, there are some potholes because it is Florida, and during the summer it rains pretty much every day, which is going to cause some potholes in the ground. Now, it is drivable, but it is just it can be bumpy, and it is all dirt, and that's going to include the campsites themselves, which we're going to get into on the next section. But the road coming in, as soon as you leave the entrance area from the park, when she tells you like follow the paw prints, you start going down a dirt road and you feel like, did I
lost?
Go down the wrong road? Nope, you didn't. It's a dirt road that winds all the way back from the main entrance, which is nice because it means we're separated from the main park where people like to come for going swimming.
I think most people wouldn't even know there's a campground here.
Yeah, it is really kind of tucked off in the back. Then though, there's another road that you come down, and then your whole campground circle is also a dirt, but then you have another awesome amenity, which kind of puts this up on the top, and that is, this is a busy county park during the summer because everybody wants to go in the Rock Springs and go tubing. So they have a complete separate entrance for nighttime as well as daytime when the main entrance is backed up.
Yeah, because they fill up here.
Yes.
And if you're just trying to get in and out of the park, sometimes while they're waiting for a new opening, you can have a line coming off of that road. So it's nice to have your own private entrance.
Yeah, and there is a gate code on there, so nobody can just come back through there. You have to have the gate code and come back through that whole gate, and again on a dirt road, and that'll bring you right down to your campsites. Now, another thing on the list for amenities is bathrooms.
And I have to say, the bathrooms here look like they belong in a hotel or resort.
They are some of the nicest bathrooms. I mean, super clean. The showers are super clean.
And you have full showers by the springs.
Yes.
So even if you're not camping here, you've got outdoor showers. That's really, really nice.
And there are bathrooms located all throughout the park, not just the one central one for the campground, but on the other side in the main park, there are lots of bathrooms. There's also, even though it's part of stuff to do, there's volleyball courts over there. There are loads of picnic tables
everywhere,
and fire pits everywhere throughout the park, not just in the campground. So this is a great place where you could come to like have family reunions because there's lots of pavilions as well.
Well, and so many freestanding picnic tables that even if your family wasn't wasn't able to secure a pavilion, they'd still have plenty of places to sit down and enjoy the park.
Yep. So let's move on to number 3, the campsites themselves, and we're going to start this one off with a site-by-site tour.
Taking all the sunshine, bottle up the rain. Go where the wind blows, let it show the way. Open all the windows, let in all the light. You can pull the stars down, paint the perfect sky. So go and write your song. The world will sing along. Jump in, and we don't know where we'll end up. You might as well begin. Memories you're making, you frame inside your heart. The middle of a nowhere, so somewhere you can start. So go and write your song. The world will sing along. Oh, life's what you make it. Let it show the way. Life's what you make it. Oh, life's what you make it. Oh, it's yours for the taking. Go and write your own song. All the world will sing along. When you find your melody, we'll join in harmony. Oh, life's what you make it. Life's what you make it.
As you can see from the tour, these are some of the biggest campsites I think that we have ever been at.
I agree. They are huge. I mean, not only are they long, but they are very wide. I mean, some of the sites in here, I saw people with a 45-foot fifth wheel and then their truck parked in front of it. Like they had
No
that
problem.
much room. Some of the sites have enough room for you to have actually 2 rigs side by side. Now they do actually have 2 family sites that are actually designed to have multiple rigs on there, which are really awesome. However, the one big one, which is site number 17, it does only have 1 pole for electric, but they say it is a family site. But lots of room for tents. The drawback to these sites is definitely the dirt parking area where you're gonna park. So make sure you have your rugs and your brooms and anything you need. You're probably gonna wanna hose off like when you get out of here, because you're gonna have a lot of mud underneath your tires and your rig, especially if you're coming during the rainy season.
Yeah, but you know what? I wouldn't trade anything for these giant campsites. And if you have a family, they are perfect for kids to have their own space and area. They're not all on top of one another. You've got plenty of room between sites to just be private.
And yeah, there is a lot of foliage between the sites. I mean, some obviously better than others, but they all have some type of privacy. And again, they're huge. And also, it's funny, that the area that you park on is completely dirt, but every site has a giant concrete pad
for the picnic
with
table.
the picnic table on it, so you can like have your screen house or maybe a place for your kids to play.
Yeah.
The one thing is the water is on a lot of the sites on the opposite side of the rig. So we're used to the water being on the same side as the power pole.
Bring a long hose.
Here they have the water on one side of where you park and your electric is on the other. Now, none of the sites that I can see have sewer, but there is a sewer dump station. What's weird about the sewer dump station though is it's in the middle of the campground. Normally you're gonna find them on the exit.
Like on the way out, yeah.
Well, we're the second to last site in here.
So we gotta loop back around.
We gotta go all the way back around to dump. So in total, there's 26 sites, but currently one of them, which is site number 15, which we have in the video, that one is currently closed. It looks like there's been a washout.
Yeah.
So you can see where there's no way you're gonna really park your rig in there. So that one doesn't really count, but there's honestly not a bad site in here. I mean, we were looking and we couldn't find any site-by-site tours, so we kind of took a gamble. We're in site 24, which was awesome.
We love it.
I think they're all good. If I came back and had to pick though, site 26, if you want privacy, is probably the best one.
Yeah.
It's huge and there's nobody around you.
Okay, it's time to talk about number 4, stuff to do.
Okay, so let's start off with this. If you saw our review video on Wekiwa Springs State Park, I'll leave a link for it right over here. We are 10 minutes away from that park, so everything that we talked about in that park when it came to stuff to do and things around the area, that applies to this one plus more.
Yeah.
Because you're 10 minutes away from Wekiwa Springs.
Go there also.
So you can go to Wekiwa Springs, which we actually did on one of the days we met our son over there, and went for a swim in the little swimming hole there. We took the dog for a giant 6-mile walk, so lots to do over there. You are 15 minutes away from Magnolia County Park, which if you want to see like peacocks, oh my gosh, go over there. They have a great campground over there, but we don't have a review because we didn't do a side-by-side of that one.
Yeah.
That one will come in the future.
Yeah, but that one, the Magnolia Park actually allows dogs to stay there, whereas here you can't bring animals.
That's a very good thing to bring up, because if you have a dog, you're not going to be able to stay here unless it is an approved service animal. So definitely something to be thinking about. So when it comes to inside of this park, the main attraction is obviously Rock Springs.
And rightfully so. That is so beautiful, and it's perfectly landscaped too. I mean, there's nothing about it that's scary or creepy for little kids that are maybe getting into fresh water for the first time. It's not like the beach. Always, you know, river water, lake water is very different, but it's so crystal clear. You can see everything, and you've got a nice wide berth to be able to get your floats down the river and enjoy it.
And it is pretty shallow, so you can walk it if you want. And it's really cool the way they have it set up, because you're going to have the main area, the landing area, and then they have a concrete walkway through the woods up to the head of the spring, and you just kind of go up there. There are lifeguards stationed throughout the entire like little run, so that's really good if you have anybody who's worried about swimming or anything like that. There are signs posted for alligators, though we have not seen any alligators inside of the little spring that we were swimming in. I mean, we have seen alligators here, just not in that spring.
Not in the run where you'd be, you know, afraid to be vulnerable.
It takes about 5 minutes to walk from the bottom where the landing area is up to the top.
Which is super nice.
I'd say it takes about 15 to 20 minutes to float from the one end down to the other, so it's really nice.
There's a few like fast areas which make it really fun, but overall I would say it reminded me of Typhoon Lagoon. If you're a Disney fan, I mean, it really feels like we're in a Fort Wilderness type of campground with recreation provided by Disney, to be honest, because it's just so well done. Everything is super clean. There's lots of beautiful areas to just put a blanket down over by the springs and just relax for the day, because it's a really nice area.
Now, one thing when it comes to Rock Springs, they do not rent tubes here. There is a place right outside of the campground that will rent you tubes, but honestly, I would run right down the street to Publix.
Yeah.
They all sell them. The Publix, the local CVS, they're like between $7 and $10. So that's the best thing to do. One thing to keep in mind when it comes to the floats is floats must be under 5 feet. wind. So that's something really important to remember.
And no paddles. So if you're hoping to, you know, bring your kayak down here or even use the paddle boards, you can't use that with the oar in the tubing area.
Now, if you do want to go paddle boarding and kayaking and, you know, canoeing,
there's a launch.
They have an area. It's actually part of their sister park, which is called Camp Joy, which is just a half a mile up the road. Now, if you want to use that, if you're staying here at the campground, it's completely free, but you need to go up to the ranger's office, tell them you want to go launch your canoe or your kayak or your paddleboard, and they're going to give you a code for a gate to get in there. And she said you're going to then park in the parking lot. You have to walk about 900 feet to get to the actual place where you're going to launch, so you can't like tow your car or your kayak right up to the water edge. You have to walk it that way. But that's not a huge deal.
No.
And also, you must launch by 12 o'clock noon and be back by 5 o'clock. So it's something to remember.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's just important information to have.
Now, there's another place, which is about a quarter of a mile past Camp Joy, that you can go into, and that place also rents out kayaks and places for you to go down. And I believe with them, you need to have a reservation. I'll leave a link for all that stuff down below. So there are a lot of different kayak runs down here because you can go all down the Wekiwa River. So there's not just this one, but there's also over by Wekiwa Springs State Park.
Now, swimming is the main attraction,
Yep.
but there's also plenty of hiking and biking trails to follow at this park. I mean, this is a beautiful area, and there's lots to explore because there's a lot of wildlife here. We've seen plenty of deers and squirrels and all sorts of stuff.
And then again, just like with Wekiwa Springs State Park, once you get outside of here, there are loads of things that you can do. Like I said, you can go over to Wekiwa Springs, you can go over to Magnolia Park. There is the safari drive that you can go to, but that is only open on the weekends and holidays.
And honestly, you're not that far from Disney World and all of the Orlando attractions.
No, just it's like 25 or 30 minutes to get there. In fact, we went when we came up for Christmas and we were staying in this area, we went to Universal Studios.
I think this would be a great cost-effective way to have a family reunion and a trip to Disney World. I would actually camp here for the day and then like enjoy all the water stuff to do here and then go to Disney one of the days.
Yep. Well, let's talk about number 5, and that is, would we recommend camping here at Kelly Springs County Park? And I'm going to say yes, and I'm also going to say I think this is a hidden gem here in the state of Florida.
I think so too. I think this is perfect for families because of the fact that it's just so big and sprawling, and being able to go in the rock springs is just so much fun, and I think kids of all ages, 1 to 101, will enjoy that. The only con I can think of is if you need to travel with your dog. It's a super bummer that you can't bring them here.
Yeah, you're not allowed to bring your dog into the campground or into the main park. And I actually have another little con. I don't think it should like stop you from coming to this campground. We should have mentioned it in amenities, and that is it doesn't have the greatest cell service.
Yeah.
So we do have service with all 3 carriers, and we were able to get service with all 3 carriers. However, it wasn't the greatest service.
No.
The best service we got was on AT&T. Verizon was probably tied with T-Mobile. We were able to use our T-Mobile plan because we do have that awesome travel data plan, which is unlimited and unthrottled internet for just $55 or $75. There's a link for it down below where you can save some money. But the best service, the fastest service, was actually on AT&T, which is usually not the case when we go to different campgrounds.
But this is the type of park that I think is going to wear out the kids, and you will not have to worry that you have plenty of electronic devices for them. They're going to want to explore this park, build some sandcastles by the springs, and enjoy just floating over and over again. And I love the opportunity to like get up and do the walk again, just like if you go to a water park. There's a lot of exercise going on, and they're going to be tuckered out by the end of the day.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, this campground is centrally located. There's lots of things to do. It's inexpensive. I mean, you think about Disney costing you like $150 a night to park your rig in their campground, and we didn't pay $150 to be here for 4 nights.
Yeah.
That's kind of insane. even for tent campers, we recommend this. We're driving around here, there are loads of tent campers because there is so much canopy cover, it doesn't get as hot in here as it does at a lot of the other Florida campgrounds.
And you're still gonna have electricity and water spigots.
Yeah, so this is definitely a place that we would recommend no matter what kind of camping you do. Now, if you like seeing videos like this, please do us a favor, hit that like button down below because it really does help us build the channel. It also lets us know what type of content you're looking to see. Also, while you're down there, make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell button, and that way every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
Until next time, happy camping.